Alright, this is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com, and I've been having a lot of questions lately. Actually, one of the questions is, John, what's the best juicer to buy? Well, as you may have seen through my videos and read on my website, my two favorite juicers in the whole wide world are the Omega 8003, 4, 5, and 6 series. And I actually happen to have the Omega 8006 juicer with me today, and the all-new Omega Vert 330 juicer. So these are my two favorite juicers in the world, and I'm basically going to go over with you right now, you know, the pros and cons of each one, because I mean each one definitely has its own niche, you know, for depending on what you want to juice specifically. So let's go over that right now, and we'll follow this by maybe actually making some juice in the Vert. So first we'll take the Omega 8006, alright? So the Omega 8006 and the 8004, they both have a 15-year warranty. The Omega 8004 is actually the same thing as the 8006, but it's in a white color. It's going to cost you less money. The 8006 is going to cost you a little bit more, and that comes in a chrome color. As I said, it does have a 15-year warranty. The Omega Vert has a 10-year warranty. So definitely there's some of the longest warranties in the juicing you know, industry right now. So with either one you can't go wrong, but let's focus on the 8006. Basically with the 8006, it's a horizontal auger style, and this style was made popular because of the basic old-fashioned wheatgrass juicer. It's an auger, but they basically redesigned this to have you know, two stages. So the first stage is right here on the initial crush. Juice comes out of this stage, and then the second crush, the juice comes out of this stage. It's all actually funneled down into one collection bowl at the bottom of the juicer. And you know, the feed chute on this juicer is you know, basically not too large. I think it's about 1.5 inch diameter, circular. And so this juicer, you know, when you put something in it like a carrot, it tends to chop the carrot down fairly slowly, takes it in, and will process it. So it does take a little bit longer to juice something like carrots, you know, for actual juicing time, but in the cleaning time, it's probably going to take you half the time that the Omega Vert will take you. Okay, so the other thing that this juicer does that the Omega Vert will not actually is this has a homogenizing plate. So instead of this piece here, it basically is a solid piece. So this is good for, you know, mincing garlic, making frozen banana sorbets and frozen fruit sorbets, 100% fruit. You could make, basically they claim you could make nut butters out of nuts, and it'll work good with roasted peanuts, but if you're using raw nuts, you know, I've made good nut flours out of raw nuts because the raw nuts don't quite have high enough oil content to make it all congeal and stick together. Once you make the almond flour, for example, if you're doing raw almonds, it'll make almond flour in many cases. You're going to want to take and pour some almond oil or some other kind of oil, maybe coconut oil, in and mix it up, and that'll kind of get it more into that butter consistency. But remember, none of the machines that I sell will make anything like the nut butters you buy in the store. So if you have dreams of that, you know, it's probably not going to happen. So this does have the multi-function features. That being said, you know, the smaller feed chute, it takes slower to juice, but it's faster to clean. This juicer is basically not as efficient as the Vert in my tests, but I'll tell you what this will do. This will do wheatgrass actually really well. It's going to make wheatgrass and barely have any squeaks. So now in my testing on the Omega Vert, the way it's designed, if you're juicing wheatgrass alone, it'll make some squeaking sounds and noise. And, you know, it is a little bit, you know, I don't know, changes the dynamics of the room when there's a squeaking sound and stuff. It's a little bit distracting. But if you're juicing like wheatgrass with some other things, put a little bit of wheatgrass, a little bit of carrot, a little bit of cucumber or celery or whatever else you're juicing, and that'll solve the noise issue. So, so with this juicer, basically, these are the parts you have to clean. You have to clean the drum cap, the screen, the auger, the funnel, and the actual drum. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces to clean on the Omega 8006 juicer when you're done juicing. And let's show you how really quickly it goes to be assembled. You put the drum in there, put the auger in there like that. The juicing screen goes in, followed by the drum cap, followed by the funnel. So let's move that one aside. Let's move over to the Omega Vert. So the Omega Vert in my tests actually have achieved, you know, maybe 10% more yield, you know, in in some juicing certain fruits and vegetables than the Omega 8006. Now, in some cases, like in juicing fruits specifically, the Omega Vert is going to exceed a 10% difference in juicing of those fruits. That's just because of the design. The design is just more refined, and it's just made basically from the bottom up. I mean, so let's take it apart and let's take a look at this. So the parts you have to clean with the Omega Vert, you know, you have the top funnel piece, so it's a built-in funnel and top of the juicer. Then you have the auger. So the auger comes out, and the auger is, you know, short and stubby versus the Omega 8006 auger. And let's show you that for a comparison. Side by side is a long and skinny. So do you like them short and fat or long and skinny? They both work really well. They work a little bit differently, but they both work really well. The next part on the Omega Vert that you'll have to clean is the screen. So here's the big difference, and this is why the Omega Vert takes, you know, almost twice as long. It takes me about 4 minutes to clean the Omega Vert, where it takes me under 2 minutes to clean the Omega 8006. And the main reason is the screen. So the screen area is where all the pulp gets stuck, and you know, that's the part that really takes the longest to clean. You can see the screen area on the Omega 8006. There's not a whole lot of screen area. You know, you have the first screen, first crushing screen, then the second stage screen. And on the Omega Vert, this is your first stage screen. It's really long and goes around the whole thing, and the bottom is your second stage. So this is also a two-stage single auger juicer, just like the Omega 8006. Last part you have to clean is the main body on the Omega Vert juicer. Now the hardest part to clean is actually where the pulp comes out. There's this little silicone nubby that actually keeps the pulp inside the juicer so that you'll obtain a higher yield, and that just goes right in there. And pulp does usually get stuck in this little area here, so you could use the special toothbrush cleaner. You use the back of it to dislodge the pulp. Usually I shoot water in here through the faucet and in the top, and then it dislodges fairly easily. So the reasons why, oh, and the other part I forgot to mention is actually this unique part that the Omega 8006 does not have. And what it is the automatic cleaning system for the Omega Vert. And what it is it's silicone, basically wiping blades, like the windshield wipers on your car when your car is getting rained on. This basically goes around and cleans the screen on the Omega Vert juicer as you are juicing. So that, number one, it makes the screen easier to clean, and number two, you'll get a higher yield because it's cleaning the screen and things aren't getting lodged in the screen. So let's go ahead and assemble the Omega Vert juicer here really quick. So once again, it's really easy. You want to take the wiping blade, put the screen into it. You're going to line up the red dot here on the top of the Omega Vert screen with a dot on the housing. Locks right into place there. You're going to put the auger in. It's going to rotate in place. And then you're going to put the top on. And on the top, there's a little gray arrow on the top of that, of the Omega Vert juicer. And you're going to line that up with the red dot on the top. And you're going to slide that and lock it into place. And so that's the Omega Vert juicer assembled. And now, why don't we see the Omega Vert juicer in action? But before we do it, I want to just update. So this juicer, as you see, it does not come with basically a blank plate for making the, you know, frozen sorbets and, you know, nut butters, and for mincing and all those kinds of things like the Omega 8006, which is a multi-purpose machine, does come with. Although if you have seen my other YouTube videos, and if you haven't, you might want to check those out. I do make Brazil nut butter in the Omega Vert juicer. I do make banana ice cream, or more appropriately, banana sorbet, 100% banana sorbet, frozen banana sorbet. It's so delicious in the Omega Vert juicer using the juicing screen. So the question is, you know, if you're doing that, John, how come it's not being sold with a blank plate? Well, you'll have to ask the manufacturer about that. Basically, they designed this for only juicing, but as I have shown, this juicer will do other functions besides juicing using the regular screen. But that being said, you know, this juicer is designed for juicing, and if you read the warranty, you know, basically the warranty is only going to cover manufacturer's defects if the juicer breaks down because of intended use. So if you're juicing, you know, trying to process nuts and banana sorbets and your juicer breaks, it may not be covered under warranty, and I need to give you that disclaimer to let you know this. So if you definitely want to do, you know, other things like make banana sorbets and nut butters and process things in the juicer, and you don't like to, you know, maybe side skirt the rules, you know, definitely go with the 8006. It's a better way to go. If you're not going to be doing any kind of, you know, nut butters or frozen banana sorbets or anything like that, or you maybe, you know, like to walk a fine line like I do, you know, go with the Omega Vert. You're definitely going to get a higher yield. Also, when you're juicing, you're actually juicing time is definitely quicker than the Omega 8006. So you're going to actually juice faster, although the cleanup's going to take you 2 more minutes. But the juicing time, you will well save the time when you're juicing in the Omega Vert just because it juices that much quicker.